Welcome to another episode in our DIY series, In the Garage. In a previous video, we upgraded our solar from a 100-watt rigid panel to 3 180-watt flexible ones. And today we will be giving an unfortunate update of how that went. Last fall, as we were packing up for another road trip, we discovered our batteries were not charging. So Dave decided to perform a proper test on the solar panels.
Just what I suspect. Cut. Just what I suspected.
It turned out our solar panels had stopped generating power. Now, we have a couple theories as to what happened. One, we bought the cheapest panels off of Amazon. We don't even think they're being made anymore. But the second and most likely reason, we had a massive hailstorm at the beginning of the year that damaged our truck camper pretty badly. That is insane.
Isn't it?
It went through the bathroom vent cover up there, took down this little screen and opened up the snap cover and fell to the ground. That's how strong the hail was. But before we get started, Dave will deliver a very important disclaimer.
Now, there's a good chance this isn't the best way to do this, but it's the way we did it.
We're just pulling it off. We don't know. This is the first time.
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually works real well.
We were obviously not expecting to have to replace our solar panels so soon, especially a week before our next departure. But after some quick YouTube tutorials, we discovered that acetone was the best way to peel the panels off the roof. We were kind of regretting using construction adhesive to apply our solar panels. It definitely did the job and held the panels in place, but removing them was very slow going. And once all 3 panels were finally off the roof, we were left with quite the mess.
The process is slow going, so you pretty much drench it in acetone, let it sit for a little bit, and then try your best to scrape it off without puncturing the rubber roof. Just trying to flatten it out a little bit so that we can put patches down and reseal it. But taking forever. We're getting there.
We were now prepping the roof for the installation of our new solar panels by removing as much of the adhesive as we could, along with patching and resealing a few holes caused by the hailstorm, which required a welcomed break to Camping World. All right, we successfully got the solar panels off. It didn't necessarily put holes in the roof, but it did rip the rubber in a couple places. So we're going to Camping World to pick up some roof patching kits.
And we know we're here because it's the biggest flag in the state. Clear patch.
Oh, there's like this instant rubber roof repair.
Ooh, that might be better. Oh my god, my leg is so sticky. My leg is so sticky, I'm covered in sticky.
Oh gosh.
God. Let's get it all.
And you know we couldn't resist a little browsing. This is Dave's dream. He's been talking about
Class A.
One day.
Obvious next step. You go from a 25 square foot truck camper to a
Whoa.
Automatic step.
This is the first time we've been in one.
Yeah.
Right?
We've seen them on TV, but boy,
Yeah.
oh boy. What a good time.
Holy moly.
5 steps to get up inside this thing.
Just a little bit bigger than our
Oh boy.
truck camper. I can't touch either side of the camper.
There's a fireplace.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Oh man. This is too much.
No, it's just enough. We could tow the truck camper behind it.
After enough stalling, we got back to working on the camper.
So we're using a extreme patch kit. Have to be very careful with something this extreme. But I'm gonna take it and cut it to size, and hopefully that will give us some structure before we put the spray rubber on top of it. So here we go. All right, and then we will take this rubbery thing and put a batch.
We think this is definitely, or at least part of it, because of the big hailstorm we got last year.
I think so, because they're all about the same shape, and then you have ones like this that are just looks like it got smashed, and none of them are associated with where we glued. So nothing was stuck to that to rip it. So I'm thinking it's from the hailstorm.
Yeah.
Those look shredded over there.
Well, I guess it was kind of a blessing in disguise that
Yeah.
the solar panels stopped working, or else we'd have water probably leaking into the roof.
Yeah, because they weren't sealed underneath, so
Yeah.
water could have come in underneath. So now we're gonna spray on rubber and seal everything in. Stuff comes out thick.
All right. So after carefully applying the extreme patch kits, Dave sprayed Flex Seal liquid rubber to ensure the roof was sealed up and waterproof.
Let's clean up this abomination. At least it'll look good.
After we finished up all the prep work, it was time to install the new solar panels. This time, we went with two 200-watt flexible panels from Renogy, a much more reputable brand. We also went ahead and ordered a solar controller from Renogy as well, which I actually wasn't around to film the install of, so here's Dave to take you through that process.
Our current solar controller is the one that came with the truck, and it is from Go Power, so we're going to change it out for a Renogy one that matches up with our batteries and our solar panels. So once you pull this out of the wall, unhooking it's pretty easy, and they have everything here labeled for solar panel positive, negative, battery positive, negative. The only problem here is that our wires are not labeled. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually label those wires so that we'll be able to figure out what's what when we go to hook it back up to the new solar controller. Now that I've got the cords all labeled, so I'll be able to figure it out later, it's as simple as unhooking them with a flathead screwdriver. So I'm going to go and get that done. And since nothing can ever be easy, this doesn't fit in the hole that they cut originally. So, as you can see, it's a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna have to figure out a little bit of whittling to make that hole big enough to fit. Stay tuned. Okay, I've got it all marked out based on the size it needs to be cut. I've got my wires taped up here out of the way. Power's cut off, battery's disconnected, but we want to make sure nothing shorts anyways. So, wish me luck. And so I don't have to use such a big tool, I went to a hardware store and I bought this little carbide bit for my Dremel, which should be more than capable to cut through this 1/2-inch ply. So that's what it's rated for, and we'll see how it does. Might help me be really accurate. Well, I realized this was making a great deal of dust, so I have taped the shock vac to Dremel, and hopefully that will pull in all of the dust that it creates as I create it, and we will see. Okay, now that I've got the hole cut to size, it's as simple as going back to my labeled wires, hooking up the photovoltaic or the solar panel positive, negative, battery positive and negative. Just pop them right in there like this and tighten them up, and they are all hooked up and easy to go. Okay, here we go. It's all installed now, and it's very intuitive. You have everything you need here. So battery voltage, temperature of the system. This is the amount of voltage coming in from the solar panels, which is none now because there are none. The amperage, kilowatt hours that it's providing, and again the voltage of the battery system in the battery bank. So hoping this one will work a lot better than the old one.
And now to install the solar panels.
We got stuff to do.
Yeah,
this is our workbench. We got everything we need. Water, Starbucks. One of these things. Really didn't really know how to use it, but proved that they were broken.
All right, the new solar panels are in place. Dave is about to screw them into the roof because we are done using construction adhesive.
Yep. And so I'm just popping a little bit of silicone, outdoor silicone, into each of the grommets, putting a washer and a little stainless steel screw, then screwing it right in, and then I'll put a little bit of the lap sealant sauce over the top and goop it on there, and should be good to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have them plugged in, and they're already, even with like really faded afternoon sunlight, producing more amperage than the other ones ever did. So looking very promising.
Yes. Before screwing the panels down, Dave applied silicone caulk to each hole to help seal everything up.
Here we go.
It may not be pretty, but our solar panels are up and running again. Luckily, just in time for our next adventure, where the panels worked perfectly on our month-long road trip out west.